Before you buy a mountain home in Teller County, there are two systems you really need to understand: the well and the septic system. And I know those are not nearly as exciting as the mountain views, the big decks, the trees, the fireplace, or the privacy. But if you're buying a Woodland Park Divide, Florissant, Lake George, Cripple Creek, or anywhere outside the more developed utility areas, these systems can make a big difference in how that home lives day to day. So today I want to walk you through the basics of wells and septic systems in our area, the questions you should be asking, and why you want to understand these things before you fall in love with the view. Hi, I'm James Dean with the James Dean Mountain Homes Team. We are your local mountain and Colorado Springs real estate experts. We absolutely love answering your questions about the area. So if you're buying, selling, or just curious about the Pikes Peak region, reach out. You can call us and text us at 719-266-275 or email us at info@jennymaryt.net. Check the link below for our two free resources, the Pikes Peak Relocation Guide and the Buy Local Guide. You can also head to www.jdmountainhome.com to start your home search and hit that subscription and notification bell so you don't miss our next update. When people move to Teller County from the city, one of the biggest adjustments is realizing that not every home is connected to city water or city sewer. In Colorado Springs or other urban areas, you may be used to turning on the faucet and not really thinking about where the water comes from. You flush a toilet, run the dishwasher, take a shower, do laundry, and the city utility system handles the rest. But in the mountains, especially in more rural areas, many homes operate differently. A lot of properties have a private well for water and an on-site septic system for wastewater. And let me be really clear. That is not automatically a bad thing. Plenty of great mountain homes have wells and septic systems. It is very normal up here. In fact, my home has them. But it does mean you need to slow down and ask better questions before you buy. Let's start with the well. A private well is what supplies water to the home. Instead of getting water from a city or water district, that property has its own water source. So one of the first questions to ask is, what kind of well permit does the property have? That matters because not every well permit allows the exact same uses. Some wells may be for ordinary household use. Other wells may have different limitations. Depending on the property, you may need to understand whether the well supports things like outside watering, animals, additional structures, or other uses. The key point is this: don't assume. If you're buying a property with a well, you want to review the available records and understand what the well is actually permitted for. The next question is, how much water does the well produce? A home can look perfect online. It can have the best views, the acreage, the trees, the privacy, everything you think you want. But if the well has a low production rate, that can affect how the home functions for daily life. Now, a low producing well does not always mean the property is a bad fit. Some homes have cisterns, water storage systems, or other setups that work just fine. But you want to know that before closing, not after. So buyers should be asking, how much water does the well produce? Is there a recent well flow test? Has the seller had any water supply issues? Is there a cistern or storage tank? Are there any well records that are available? Those questions help you understand whether the water system fits how you actually plan to live in the home. Another thing to think about is water quality. Even if the well produces enough water, you still want to know what is in that water. Depending on the property and where it's located, buyers may want to test for things like bacteria, nitrates, minerals, and other water quality issues. Again, this is not about being scared of wells. Lots of people have lived on private wells for years and years with no major issues. But water is one of those things you do not want to be casual about. You want to understand the system, test when appropriate, and know what you're buying. Now let's talk about septics. A septic system handles wastewater from the home. That means water from sinks, showers, toilets, laundry, and other drains that leave the house and goes into the on-site system. A typical system includes a septic tank and a leach field, although the exact setup can vary from property to property. One of the first questions to ask is, where is the septic system located? Where's the tank? Where's the leach field? Is it easy to access? Are there permits, records, or diagrams? That matters because you do not want to unknowingly drive heavy equipment over the leach field, plant an addition in the wrong spot, or build a garage where you should not, or discover after closing that nobody really knows where the system is. The next question is, When was a septic system last pumped or inspected? A septic system is one of those things that can be out of sight, out of mind until there's a problem. During the buying process, you want to understand the condition of the system before you close. That may mean reviewing maintenance records, confirming when it was last pumped, and getting the system inspected when appropriate. You also want to pay attention to the age of the system. Older systems are not automatically bad, but the older they are, the more important it is to understand their condition, maintenance history, and whether any repairs or upgrades may be needed. Another big septic question is the system sized correctly for the home? This surprises some buyers, but septic systems are often tied to bedroom count. So if a home is being marketed as a certain number of bedrooms, you want to make sure the septic records line up with how the home is being represented. For example, if a property is being used like a 4-bedroom home, but the septic system was designed for fewer bedrooms, that is something you want to understand before buying. This can also matter if you're thinking about finishing a basement, adding bedrooms, creating guest space, or changing how the property is used in the future. Here's the bigger picture. Wells and septic systems are not just inspection checklist items. They're part of the lifestyle of mountain living. If you're moving here from a city or suburb, this may be a shift. You may need to think about water differently. You may need to be careful about what goes down the drains. You may need to maintain the septic system on a schedule. You may need to know where your well, tank, and leach fields are before doing landscaping, fencing, grading, or building projects. None of that is bad. It is part of owning property in the mountains. And honestly, once people understand it, most of it becomes pretty normal. The mistake is not buying a home with the well and septic system. The mistake is buying one without understanding those systems. Because a property can have the perfect kitchen, the perfect view, the perfect acreage, and that perfect Colorado mountain feel, but you still need to know how the home gets water and how it handles wastewater. So before you fall in love with the view, ask about the well, ask about the septic, review the records, get inspections when appropriate, and make sure those systems fit how you plan to live in the home. That is how you buy a mountain home with your eyes open. Before we go, I just want to say that if you have any questions about buying or selling or really anything about the Pikes Peak region, please don't hesitate to reach out to my team and I. You can call us or text us at 719-266-275, or you can email us at info@jdmarine.net. Don't forget, we also have 2 free resources for you. You can check below: the Pikes Peak Relocation Guide and the Buy Local Guide. Plus, don't forget to also check out our website at www.jdmountainhome.com, where both of these free resources are, as well as a ton of information about our area and where you can start a search for homes here. Lastly, make sure you hit that subscription button and notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. I'll see you guys next time.